Hello and welcome to Microsoft Power Tools channel, where you learn everything about analytics, automation and productivity. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Word connector to convert a Word document to PDF as well as JPEG, this time around with dynamic content, meaning that you'll be able to determine the kind of content that get loaded into the PDF before conversion or into the image. The use case we're going to present here is creating or generating a certificate of participation. Alright, to accomplish this, I have created something in Microsoft PowerPoint. I designed this. I just wanted to see that I designed it. This is it. I designed this myself. Everything here, I have designed them as image. Alright, and I'm going to export it, which I've already done. I have it exported on my desktop. I have it here. This is the image, which just sort of look like our certificate of participation. What we want to do is to ensure that the name of the person is changing. The name is to be positioned here, as well as the date that it was issued, depending on the date issued. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is to copy this, and I'm going to navigate to my Word document, and I will paste it. So we want to create the template, for a start. I'm going to make sure I just put this at, is that behind, true, in front? I need to put it behind test. Okay, behind test. Now I can adjust this to be sure that, okay, so I need to be sure, stretch the length and the breadth. All right. Two more things that we need to do. We will create a placeholder for the name as well as the one for date. And to do that, you need a menu here that is currently not appearing. I decided to turn it off so that I can show you in case you don't have that in your Word document. That is the developer menu. And how do you do that? Just go to this option here, quick, customize your quick access toolbar and locate more commands. Under more commands, go to customize ribbon and scroll down to locate developer. Check the developer tab and click on OK. When I did that, you can see the developer tab is now showing. Alright, I'm going to navigate back to home, and okay, I have this here. I need to insert a text object, a text box. This time around, I'm going to make it draw text box. I want to draw it myself, and I'm going to draw from here to here. Imagine the name is long. Alright, and I'm going to make Ctrl E to centralize. I'm going to increase the font just to be sure the font size, and I'm going to make sure that there's no fill in terms of shape fill. Going to no fill, and for line as well. But before that, let me type something. Let me just type a placeholder. I'm going to type Olachas as a placeholder. Alright, and alignment needs to be middle. Okay, and also need to be sure that the spacing is 1. I'm going to remove this. Yeah, more so I need to be sure the name is okay. Yeah, big enough. And what's the preferred font? Alright, so I found one which is the G Sans MT. I'm going to make sure it's bold. Alright, so this is bold. I'm also being careful so that the names, in case the name is very long and it can't take the length, so I need to just reduce this to 30. Right, so this is 30. I can still make it 32. 32 is fine. Yep. And I'm going to make sure I drag it down so it sort of rests on that line, which I have done now. Alright, so I've done this for the name. So what I need to do right now is go to my developer tab and turn this to this particular guy, plain text content control. So I'm going to click on it. So that's turned it to a content control, and I'm going to click on properties. I'll call this name, just giving it a title and a tag. So it's name. Alright, so this is all you need to do. I'm just going to click on OK. So that's done for the name. The next thing I need to do is the date. I also need to insert, of course, you can just go straight and insert another text box. I'm going to draw, and this is just going to hold the date. So similar to what I did the other time, I'm going to remove the fill and also the line. But before that, I need to put something there. Date, centralize, check the text alignment to be middle, come back to my home and be sure that I remove this, then increase the font size. So, okay, I can be sure. Alright, I think this date 32 should be fine as well. Alright, 32 is fine, but I need to drag it so that I can also rest on that line. Yeah, so for date, one more thing. Okay, I'm going to navigate to developer as well and click on this icon, plain text content control, and then go to my property and call this date and say date. So because what I have here is date, so that space is there. Don't forget to turn off the line for this as well. Oh, okay, so format, I'm going to turn off the line. All right, so what I have now, I'm going to save it because I have turned and I've used the rich text in my developer tab. When I save this, it's going to be a Word template. It's going to be saved as a document template, and that way we can determine the kind of content that we pass into the name. We can determine the kind of content that goes into the date. So I'm going to go to home, file and save. I will save it in my folder. That's party. Call it certificate. I'm going to call it certificate, and I'm fine. Alright, so it is saved now as certificate. Fine, that's all we need to do. Let me navigate back to Power Automate and let's use a button to trigger to make it easier or simpler. You can always extend the use case. Right now, I'm going to click on this menu and say generate certificate. Create. I will add new step. There's an action card called Populate Word Document. So I'm going to say Populate Word Document. You will see several action card. Remember, connectors, you can have more than one connectors solving the same challenge for you. We are not using the encoding, we rather want to use the one from Microsoft. Populate a Microsoft Word template. It is a premium connector, meaning you must have at least the flow per plan license. So for me, I'm going to try it for, I think I can start the trial free for 90 days. So that way I can enjoy a lot of other premium connectors for 90 days. You can use that to test it out. So I'm going to start my trial. It will enable me to make use of it. So it's signing in now to my Microsoft account. Right now it's done. So it's asking me where is this document located. It's on my OneDrive. And where's the document library? Actually, it's the OneDrive. I need to select the file. So I'm going to click on this to locate. Oh, that's it over there. Certificate. Once I click on certificates, it's going to determine automatically. It has detected that this is a Word template and the fields are now dynamic. I can see the date, I can see the name. So for name, first for date, I'm going to use UTC now. Whatsoever the day I trigger it, that is the date to be on the certificate. So I'm going to do UTC now, and I'm going to format UTC now to dd/mm/ there is a date format here that I'm going to use, meaning day, month, and year. Alright, I have that there. For name, I want to enter the name myself. So because the flow is a button trigger flow, so I need to add an input and click on test. So I'm going to say name. So depending on the name, then it's going to populate that here. So on that name, I'm going to come down here and look for that variable I just created, which is name. So whatsoever I did, that is what we'll get here. The next to do is to create a Word document. So this is not yet a Word document, but we need to now create a Word document. So I'm going to use the OneDrive to create a file. So it's going to help me to create it as a file. And that's what I have here. So what is the folder part? Where do I want to create the file? I'm just going to create the file in my root folder. That is not where I want the certificate itself to be. So what's the file name? Yeah, the name of the file, we don't know it, but I have to create because I don't have a name for it yet. I just have to call it certificate. I have to call it certificate. And maybe I want to append the name of that person, underscore. Remember, I've put name. I need to look for name. Sorry, I'm looking for that variable name. All right, .docx, because it's a Word document we are creating now. We need to create it as a Word document and later convert to PDF. What's the content? The content is right here, Microsoft Word document. All right. The next step is to convert this. So I'm going to go to, again, my action card and search for convert file, which is also OneDrive. Convert file, preview is in preview. So I can convert to PDF, I can convert to GLB, HTML, or JPEG. And right here, I'm to select the file, because I'm just going to click on this ID to retrieve the file from me automatically, which is the ID. And what am I converting it to? PDF. I only convert, I did not create. So this is going to convert, and within this flow, I can reuse this convert file. But because I want to create it, meaning I want it to be stored in my OneDrive, right now it's just going to convert it and can reuse the output, but I won't have it in my OneDrive or save anywhere. So I want to save it, and that is why I have to create file. I have to use another create file. So create file will help me to save this as a document, as a PDF file. Where am I saving it? I already created a folder specifically for this, which is certificate of participation. So it's going to create it inside that folder. What is the name? Remember, I've done conversion under that convert, because I converted to PDF file name. And what is the content? That's the same guy here. So it's going to create this PDF and put it inside that folder for me. So I've gotten the PDF now. One more thing I want to do as well is the JPEG version. So I need the JPEG version as well. I want it to be image, both your certificate in image format as well as in PDF. So I'm going to convert again. Convert file. Of course, you can do these two conversions concurrently, but I'm just finishing one process before the other right here. So I'm going to convert file, and this time around, where am I converting it? Or what's the file? Unique identifier is still the same create file, the first create file, not the second one. It's the first create file. So I'm going to look for that create file. Yes, here. And this time around, I'm turning this to JPEG under the convert. So I can rename this convert and call it convert to PDF, and call this create Word document. This one is going to create PDF in certificate folder. This is going to create, this is converting to, rather, this is convert to JPEG. Of course. Then I need to also create this JPEG in that same folder. So I'm going to add another action card, create file. So this is going to create. Remember, the convert will convert it, but it's not saving it anywhere. You can only reuse the output in your mail and attach it somewhere. Instead of attaching somewhere, I want to save it and create inside my OneDrive. And I'm still going to create it inside the same dedicated folder, which is certificate of participation. The file name this time, and I'm going to go to the one under convert to JPEG, which is convert to JPEG. This is the file name, and under file content, I'm going to locate file content. So I have this. I can rename as well and call this create. I can call this create JPEG in certificate folder. All right. So the next step here is to send email. I want to send email to a particular email address so that we can see how it works. Send an email, and I want to attach both the PDF as well as this JPEG format. Where am I sending this to? Let me just send it to Ola Charles straight away. And the subject, say certificate of participation for who? The name. Where's the name? That's the name that I actually created as a variable. And right here, I'm going to call that person there. Call the name again. Locate it here and say congratulations for being part of the Microsoft Power Tools workshop, webinar on Power Automate. Kindly find attached your certificate of participation. See you in the coming edition of our webinar. Best regards. I'm going to click on the show advanced options, and right here, first, don't forget to always set the importance. This kind of event, I don't want it to be a normal, I want it to be of high importance. And to add attachment, right here, I want to add the JPEG first. So if you're adding the attachment for JPEG, go straight to convert to JPEG. Remember, that is the object. So you can take the name, attachment content, go straight to the content. And I'm going to add more because I also want to send the PDF. So right here, I'm going to locate file name. Let me just type file name. So I'm not clicking on the one from JPEG, I'm rather clicking on the one from PDF. So file name for PDF and file content. So file content from PDF. So right now I am done, but not totally done. So I need to add one more action because, okay, let me run it first so that I can see, because once we run the flow, it's going to create a Word document, and we don't need the Word document. What we only need is the PDF and the image. So we need to delete that Word document, but first let me run it so that I can see how it runs, and then we can come back and add that action to it. I'm going to save now. Now that my flow is saved, I'm going to click on test and manually trigger my flow. Don't forget, it's definitely going to request for an input, and that input is the name. So what is the name? Advance. So I'm going to run flow. Alright, right now do you notice the flow ran successfully? So I'm expecting to get a mail, but before that, let us check my folder. So right here I have it. This is the document, which is the Word template. This is the certificate that was created. This is the Word, that's the Word document. This is my folder, certificate of participation. I have two things here. I have the PDF, which is this, and I also have the Word document. All right, so I've also gotten my mail. So let me locate. This is the email, and right here I have this congratulatory mail. It is sent with high importance, and you can see the certificate. This is the JPEG version of my certificate, and this is the PDF. This is the PDF version of my certificate. Interesting. So I've been able to make it dynamic, and that's the goal. All right, so before I go ahead and also run this again, I want to show you the other things. We want to delete that file, that Word document. We don't need it. We only need the PDF and the image. So I'm going to edit now and come back here and click on new step, and I'm going to click type delete item OneDrive. I'm also going to use this same for OneDrive for Business to delete that particular OneDrive Word document. So I have to locate the ID for the create Word document, because that is where that document was created. That was when. So I have to look for create Word document. Yeah, this is the create Word document, and this is the ID. So what this means is going to delete after sending the email and using that Word document as an input for creating or generating the PDF and the JPEG. Now I'm saving. I'm going to test again this time around. Manually, I'm going to test. Okay. I'm going to put long name here. Let's see how it's rendered. Run flow. All right, our flow ran successfully. This time around, I want to open my mail from my Outlook on the web. You're going to see the sort of that thank you, congratulations email is going to come with. Okay, I have it now, which is this one. You're going to see some balloons. Awesome. Okay, the balloons are not here, but I can see. You see the Word document. This is the PDF, which I'm going to open. So the PDF is opening right now. You can see the congratulations, the balloon there. That's what I actually want to see. Certificate of participation, and here is my name, and this is the date. How about the image? Of course, the JPEG, we also have it here. So I believe you can always customize these, especially determine how it works. You can plug it into Microsoft Form, that when people take a particular quiz, when they pass, then they should get the certificate. Whatsoever you want to add in the certificate, in case you want to create a transcript for them that also has the scores they get, whatsoever you want to include, you can use it to generate invoice. There are several ways to apply it. All right, so thank you, and I want to believe you've learned something there. Don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am always committed to showing you ways around how to be more productive by leveraging our Office 365 tools, especially using Power Automate, leveraging other Office 365 applications. Soon enough, my Power Apps track will be starting, and I have a big announcement coming soon. All right, thank you, and see you in the next video.